Welcome to Real Talk, Real Women. My name is Miriam Khalladi, and today we have WBFF Pro Figure Athlete, former Miss Figure Universe, personal trainer, and nutritional consultant Shannon Petralito on the show. Welcome, Shannon. How are you?
I'm very well. How are you? Thank you for having me today.
I'm fine. Thank you so much for your time.
Of course.
You're a professional figure competitor and health and wellness expert. How did it all begin?
Well, long story short, it all began probably about 4.5 years ago, 5 years ago. After a little while after I had my son Anthony, I was looking to get into the best shape that I could after having a baby, as so many women fear losing the baby weight. So I set a challenge for myself to hire a trainer and to compete in my first figure competition, which I did. And I placed sixth in my first show. And I was hooked on that after that. And I'm glad that I stuck with it because a lot of good has transpired for me because of that one decision.
Amazing, great. I believe you were already in your 30s. Did you ever wonder whether it was too late to go on this path?
Absolutely, I did. I've had friends over the years who have told me that that would probably be a good decision for me just because of my build and my athleticism to get involved with figure or bikini competitions. And I always kind of shrugged it off and said, I don't know. I don't know if that's for me. And then after I had my son, of course, the idea came up again. And then I started looking through some Oxygen magazines and I saw a particular model, Toscarino, who is now well into her 50s and still looks absolutely phenomenal and is a big inspiration to many women still. And I thought, geez, if she's doing this, I think she was in her 40s at that time still. And I thought, if she's doing that at that age and she's still competing and getting on stage, why can't I? So that's when I made that decision to try and go for it. And again, I'm glad I did.
Were you ever afraid to get big and bulky? And what do you tell your clients today who wonder about that kind of thing?
That is a very good question because the myth that is around is that if women lift weights, they are going to get big and bulky. And it couldn't be further from the truth. Women only hold a certain amount of testosterone in their body that will only allow them to get so big unless they start taking other things to help them get bigger. So I myself, I lift very heavy, very hard, and I'm in the best condition at 37 now than I ever have been. So you can't be afraid to lift those weights if you're a woman, because that's definitely not going to happen to you unless you're taking alternate substances to help you grow more.
I agree, yeah. What drives you to continuously be at your best?
Oh, geez. By now, I have my son, who now he'll be 9 on April 23rd, and my husband, Chris, who they've been with me through the beginning of all of this, huge support system to me, my family, my friends, and now the fan base that I've built through Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, the whole social media thing. So now I'm at a point where I continue to want to inspire because of all those people that have supported me all the way to get where I am now.
Amazing. Has goal setting been an important part of your career success? And how do you set goals for yourself?
Absolutely. Goal setting is very important, not only for me as a competitor, but a lot of the women that work underneath me as well. I try to instill in them how important goal setting is, whether you're going to be competing or whether you're going to follow a regular lifestyle diet and nutrition plan. It's always good to sit down and kind of write out what your 3 month, 6 month, and year goals are going to be and kind of put them somewhere where you can see them, maybe on your refrigerator, maybe by your computer, in your car, places that you are all the time that are going to remind you to take small steps towards those goals every day so you can reach them. I myself, I have a vision board that I make every year of the things that I want to complete within that year. And I can tell you, last year's vision board, there's about 7 things on that vision board that came true for me. Every single day looking at that and thinking, what can I do to work towards achieving those goals? So it really does work.
When things get really tough, like when you're on a strict diet for a show or when you have a major setback, how do you pick yourself back up? Perhaps can you give an example?
Well, I can think of a few instances. Last November, I competed in my first WBFF show. That's when I decided to switch over from the Fitness America Federation to the WBFF. And with that came a more intense training regimen and more intense diet. I wanted to get my pro card in that federation, and I'm thankful that I did. But like I said, that was the toughest prep that I've had yet. And there were definitely days, definitely moments where I wondered if I was going to be able to do it. Some mornings I woke up just so tired, feeling so exhausted. But that's when you look to your support networks around you, my coaches, my husband, just my family, just little pick-me-ups around me, anything that I could do to make myself feel better. Again, like the women that work with me, we have an online private support group through Facebook. If they're having problems, if they're having any issues, they can contact and connect there with one another. And just sometimes a simple, you can do it, you're going to be fine, you're going to be great, will work. I have girls competing next Saturday at a show. There's 5 of them for the first time, and they've used that group as a support network for each other to lift each other up. And I think that's one of the biggest things is support around you.
Yeah, I agree. If you could go back in time, what would you have done differently?
I like that question. Sometimes I want to say that I would do things differently, but most of my inner being says that I would not do anything differently, because if I changed the way that I did things in the past, I would not be the person that I am today. Good and bad. There are decisions I've made in the past that I'm not proud of. So isn't everyone. But I think that those decisions that I've made and the experiences that I've been through have made me the person that I am today.
How would you define success in your own life?
Success in my own life right now would be raising a humble, smart son, which I think I'm on the path to doing. Being a good wife to my husband, Chris, I think is successful to me. And to be remembered as somebody who was successful in her own right, but has always remained humble throughout the process, and who always wanted to help people and inspire people and help people be the best that they can be. Not looking for too much attention drawn on myself. I've never been that way. So I guess that's how I would define it.
Oh, fantastic. You're also a sponsored athlete with Bentancourt Nutrition. Does their support make things easier for you as a competitor?
It does, actually. I was signed on with Betancourt, I think about 5 months ago. And before that, I've done pretty much everything on my own. But in signing on with Betancourt about 5 months ago, they have helped me build my fan base tremendously. They have helped me, sponsored me by paying for my show in November. There's potential sponsorship going on for my pro debut at the Worlds in Vegas in August, which I'm really excited about. And they've been very good to me all around. They've helped me, like I said, build my fan base, and I'm happy to be with them. They have great products that I use.
Great. What accomplishment are you most proud of, and why?
This is going to be a very simple answer. My most proud moment was having my son. The fact of my husband and I creating a being together. My husband and I are very in love with one another. We have a great relationship, and just going through that entire pregnancy and having my son and looking at an individual being born out of the creation of the two of us was just amazing. So that's probably my most proud moment.
Where can people go to learn more about you online?
People can visit me at www.shannonpetralito.com. I have a few Facebook pages. I have Shannon Petralito, WBFF Pro. I also have my athlete page, which is Shannon Petralito. And I have my business page, which is Shannon Petralito Fitness. I'm on Instagram, Shannon Petralito, and Twitter, finally, at Shan, S-H-A-N, Petralito.
Okay, and I will make sure to put all the links below this video.
I appreciate that.
You're most welcome. Is there anything else you feel we've missed that you would like to touch upon?
I just want to thank you for having me for an interview. I really appreciate it. I'm glad that we were able to connect, and I hope whoever is listening found some things that I have said very useful.
Thank you so much for your time, Shannon.
You're welcome.
It was an absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much. Enjoy your night.
My name is Miriam Khalladi, and I will see you on the next episode of Real Talk, Real Women.